Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Linda May, and the title of our first class in Psychology 101 is How to Get an A. We will be covering a lot today, but the main course is How to Get an A, our study plan. It's easy to get an A in this class if you follow our study plan. In fact, between 75 and 80% of my students last semester got A's and B's in this class. I earned my master's and PhD in social psychology from Purdue University with an additional emphasis in personality science. I am a teaching professor, meaning that I love teaching more than anything else in my job and designate most of it to teaching. Besides introductory psychology class, I teach many upper level classes and I specialize in special topic classes such as consumer psychology, sleep and dreaming, and psychology and Shakespeare with a study abroad component in England. And just for the record, this is not me making out on the lawn at Purdue. So this is a flipped class, which roughly means where you learn and where you do your homework is flipped. You will do most of your learning online over the week. Then in class, you will practice what you learned, see demos, and get some mini lectures that go beyond your online teaching. Even though we only meet for one class a week, other things are assigned during the week, like your online learning parts, during which you will earn online learning points, and quizzes. So be sure to print and post that one-page timeline at a glance under the syllabus tab, that sheet, to avoid any surprises or confusions and to see things coming up well in advance. A week for this class is considered to begin on our class day and to continue through the night before our next class. Now, you have already done your prep module tasks to prepare for this first class today. So week one module starts today, the day we first meet in person. When you finish our class today, you will go to that week one module and then complete that to-do list before our next class. Everything you need to do for each task is linked to it in the list. Just click on the links and do one item at a time, and do be sure to do them in order. You will also see their due dates there on the list. If you enrolled late and have not finished your prep tasks, you can still stay in this class as long as you catch up by completing both the module to-do lists, the prep task module, and week one module by the end of this week, by the end of week one. So, by our next class, right? Always do the modules to-do lists and all of the items in them in order, or they really won't make any sense. Never skip an item. Do one item at a time. As most of you have discovered, the weekly modules are locked until you complete your prep task module. Once you complete that module, all of your to-do lists appear, and you can scroll right down through the rest of the semester. Our form of communication for this class is our 24/7 virtual question booth. You can't miss this because you will see this each time you go to our class on our homepage. So here's our homepage, and see that 24/7 questions is circled in red on this slide. You're going to see it every time you come in. So do not email to your professor or TA's individual ASU emails, or to our individual Canvas message accounts. We do not monitor those. We designate 24/7 questions as our form of class communication. So we are dedicated to monitoring that, not these other accounts. Now, if you send to one of these by mistake, don't worry, you will receive a courtesy redirecting email from our administrative assistant. She'll ask you to copy paste your question in 24/7 questions instead. So for a quicker response, just remember to go straight there to 24/7 questions on our homepage. Now, questions are answered within 12 business hours, and I'm proud to say, usually much sooner than that. We also answer them once a day at a random time over weekends. Now, what if you miss a class for an unavoidable reason? It's not unusual for this to happen once to a student over a semester, right? Hopefully it doesn't, but it can. With half of our proctored quiz questions coming from the class, it is so important to come and fill out your note outlines. So what can you do if you can't make it for an unavoidable reason? Know that your professor and TAs do not even have class notes. So if you miss a class, it is your responsibility to get notes from another student in this class. Now, for this reason, you will now be given 2 minutes to exchange contact information with 5 or 6 other students around you. Just exchange phones, then enter 101 your name and number into their contacts. Move quickly, though, so that you can hopefully exchange with 6 other students in these 2 minutes. By the way, if you missed the first class and are watching this recording, it is your responsibility to collect this info from 5 or 6 students on your own time. I'm pausing the tape now. Okay, now everyone, now that you have this contact information, never ask another student for notes unless you first read the document titled Best Practices for Asking a Student for Notes, posted under the Syllabus Navigation tab in our class website. How to find it? This is our homepage, and these are the navigation tabs here on the left. See my cursor moving there? Okay. Notice that syllabus is circled, and when you click on that, you will see this. I repeat now, never ask another student for notes unless you first read Best Practices for Asking a Student for Notes. It is circled here in red and posted right above your timeline at a glance sheet. You might wonder how successfully you are going to be able to get notes from a fellow student. This document contains the tricks, guys. If you don't follow these best practices, it is unlikely to work. If you do, it creates great karma for you and the other student. And if you are a student who shares your notes with someone, you can rest easy knowing you build credit and that they will likely reciprocate if you have an emergency. In our next segment, we are going to take a brief class tour.